For my project, I decided to take a deeper dive into the social aspect of hijab. While conducting my research, I focused on two main questions. Is hijab mandatory? And if it is, why do so many Muslim women choose not to wear it? The following table is the data collected from an organization called the Pew Research Center. They interviewed thousands of Muslims all over the world. However, this table focuses on the Muslims in America. According to this research, 40% of Muslim women usually wear hijab. Women who think religion is important wear hijab 72% of the time. Women who don't think religion is important tend to not wear the hijab 70% of the time. The percentage of women who wear hijab all the time has remained steady at 36 to 38% from 2007 to 2017. 42% of Muslim women never wear hijab. Women who haven't graduated college are more likely to wear hijab in public all the time. According to the Pew research, 62% of US Muslim women don't wear the hijab everywhere. So this begs the question, is hijab mandatory? Is it something that is required by the religion of Islam? To answer this question, I read through various fatwas and ahadith and hosted a few interviews of my own. I asked multiple Muslim women about their relationship with the hijab and whether they believed it to be mandatory or not. Throughout the Quran and multiple hadith, women are told to cover themselves to be modest. They are told to cover themselves from head to toe, excluding the face and hands. As you can see in the Quranic verse above, women are told to put their outer garments on, the Arabic word being jilbab. However, the jilbab isn't simply an outer garment. According to Dr. Madani in Hijab, the Islamic Commandments of Hijab, jilbab is actually the outer sheet or coverlet which the woman wraps around the top of her garments to cover herself from head to toe. It hides her body completely. I asked multiple women if they thought hijab was mandatory. Here are their answers.
No, it's a choice.
Yes, I definitely do, but I believe that if you're not wearing it because you're not ready, Allah definitely doesn't hate you for it. Allah would never hate you for it. It's definitely something you're supposed to do and do your best to do, but everyone can express it differently.
I think somebody that even if they aren't hijabi, they can have a higher stance in front of Allah than somebody that does, but not necessarily mandatory.
Yes.
That's a good one. That's actually a really, really good one. I believe that Muslims should wear a hijab. Do I believe that a hijab is a definition of your closeness to God? No, I don't believe that. I believe that you can be even closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not wear a hijab. And then I also believe, yes, you are supposed to wear a hijab.
Do you think it is mandatory?
Yeah.
I think it's required. Yeah. So yeah, I think it is in terms of Islam.
As you can see, the majority opinion was that the hijab is in fact mandatory. However, many of the hijabi women's answers were a lot more vague, saying that putting on the scarf was a choice, and that wearing the hijab doesn't necessarily mean one's faith is stronger. The non-hijabi women, however, clearly stated that wearing the hijab is something that is required in the faith of Islam. This was something I found strange, because it made me wonder, if they believe hijab is mandatory, why have they themselves chosen not to wear it? So why don't Muslim women choose to wear the hijab? After all, 62% of Muslim women in America don't wear hijab all the time. It has been clearly stated that hijab is a mandatory part of the Islamic religion. When I asked the non-hijabi Muslim women if they thought hijab was mandatory, they all answered with a clear yes. So my next question for them was, why have you chosen not to wear the hijab?
I'm just not ready, I have very bad anxiety, and I'm going to a school filled with, people that might not be the most friendly with Muslims. And I don't know if I'm ready to see how the world would react if I'm open about it. I'm happy that I'm Muslim. But again, it's scary to think maybe someone's out there that doesn't want you to be around them. And they do something that's, a little not okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Women hijabs ripped off. They've been harassed. The world's dangerous for women in general. So putting the hijab on is another addition to the danger. So it's something you definitely have to get ready for, especially in America and Western countries.
It's something I think about a lot where, why do some women
who are religious or believe in Islam and are Muslim, why they don't wear it. And I think, there's no excuse really, but I think one of the things is a matter of, just environment, childhood, your atmosphere. Some people are born into households where Islam is a little bit more prevalent or visible. And although I went to Islamic school, it's later in my life, I then went to public school, and not a lot of women in my family wore hijab or even wear it currently. So it's a matter of just visibility and what you're exposed to. So the later part of my life, the last maybe 5 to 10 years is when I've been more exposed to hijabis, and, seeing the beauty and the depth of their, religiosity is something that is very inspiring. And so, it's definitely something that I think every year, at the closer that I'm growing in terms of my deen, my iman, it's becoming more of a thought in my brain for sure.
Well, part of it has to do with I was forced to when I was younger. I think it was in a period of time where it, I guess, pushed me away, and I guess since I have it, and I also had, like, when it gets too hot, like I would have even more nosebleeds and stuff like that. So, I mean, overall, I don't think the health was much of a concern, but I think more of personal preference. I chose not to wear it.
As you can see, most of the women said that their decision was due to lack of positive encouragement. Either they were forced when they were younger, leaving unpleasant memories of the headscarf, or the people around them who didn't wear the hijab influenced them. Others simply felt that wearing the hijab would attract unwanted hate. This is an especially valid reason because all over the world, women get harassed due to wearing religious clothes. In 20 European countries, including France, Austria, Belgium, and Germany, women are prevented from showcasing their belief through hijab because of government laws. This study concluded that a major influence on a woman's choice to wear hijab or not was the status of her parents' belief. They also found that generally women who wore improper hijab were more respected in society, which reinforces this hesitance towards hijab. On the other hand, inappropriate and disrespectful behavior with people wearing hijab led to resentment and a feeling of discrimination. The reinforcement of this behavior is what leads to women giving up their hijab or delaying them starting it. Another aspect that affects whether a woman chooses to wear hijab or not is whether she had pleasant memories observing the hijab when she was younger. If so, the woman would be more likely to start to wear the hijab. In conclusion, hijab is an extremely influential and necessary part of the Islamic religion. However, secular thoughts and actions, the absence of proper motivation, and lack of physical and mental preparation prevents Muslim women from being able to express their belief. Hopefully this will change, so many more women can take part in this beautiful element of Islamic faith. Thank you to all the women who agreed to being interviewed for this project. Their input was greatly appreciated, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. Learning about their perspective on hijab really made me understand why certain people feel a certain way towards their hijab and why they choose to wear it or not to wear it. Thank you.